and welcome to this exclusive interview granted the Cameroon Radio Television by the Director General of SINOSTEEL, Cameroon, one of the key actors of the Cameroon mining industry. With him, we'll be talking developments in the mining industry in the country, as indicated in his last address to the nation by the President of the Republic. The Director General of SINOSTEEL Cameroon, WANG, thank you very much for talking to the Cameroon Radio Television.
Thank you very much, Charles. First of all, thank you for CRTV to come to our office and also give us an opportunity. So also thank you for CRTV to support for this project. Thank you very much.
The last visit of the Secretary of State, the Acting Minister of Mines, Industry and Technological Development, Dr. or Professor Fu Callistus Gentry, was in Kribi, where you will be operating, and he said that the foundation stone for your operations will be happening in December this year. Will that timetable be respected?
Well, yes. Basically, with continuous support from the head of state, from Prime Ministry, and from the Minister of the Mines. So SINOSTEEL actually is trying the best, working very hard to try to meet this instructed timetable. Actually, we are planning to do some preliminary work on site in the following months.
According to the wishes of the head of state, whom you just cited, the mining sector should be a key player in the development of Africa and Cameroon in particular. When it comes to SINOSTEEL, what do you intend to inject in that domain in particular?
Well, thank you. That's a good question. Actually, you know, SINOSTEEL, this lobby iron ore project, actually, we assume it's a start of industrialized mining. It's the first ever iron ore industrialized mining project in Cameroon. So this project is integrated by a capacity of 10 million tons of raw material, which is the average grade of 33 iron content. Also, the project consists of a beneficiary plant, which will enrich this raw material from 10 million tons per annum to around 4 million tons concentrate, which will reach above more than 65% of the high-grade concentrate. Also, the project will have a 60 megawatt power plant, a 20-kilometer road to connect the mine site to the Kribi port. Also, there will be a mineral terminal in the Kribi area. Besides of this, we assume more exploration will be carried out in the area to identify more potential iron ore resources, if possible. So this project, we expect will generate more than 600 direct jobs positions, as well as associated social facilities. So all these above activities, we believe, will contribute to make the head of state's wish to a reality.
The developments in Kribi are based on the industrial complex of the Kribi Deep Sea Port project and other structural projects which are going on in the country, especially in the exploration of iron ore from Mount Mamel. Do you take into account the various environmental questions and studies which are related to it?
Yes, of course. Environmental protection is always a priority of SINOSTEEL. So SINOSTEEL emphasizes on the environmental protection. So that's why we choose Rainbow, the local environmental professional company, to assist us to finalize our updating of our environmental and social assessment study and environmental and social management plan. This work has been done and submitted to the Ministry of the Environmental. So basically, in the environmental and social management plan, we include that we call it a local content. including, according to the Mining Convention, we will contribute to a fund to assist or help local society. So basically, you know, SINOSTEEL is an international practice. So we have different projects in different countries all over the world. So we can ensure that we will do whatever we can do, try our best to protect the environment as whatever we have done in other countries.
Let's talk about your corporate social responsibilities. The population is expecting electricity, pipe-borne water, jobs, health centers in the various communities in the South region in particular, and the rest of Cameroon where you will be operating. Are those expectations going to be met?
Well, yes. The issue is that all these expectations and more has already been taken into consideration, taken into account in above mentioned environmental and social management plan. We call it local content. So according to the Mining Convention, we have committed to the state, SINOSTEEL will contribute the percentage from our sales revenue directly to a certain fund to help the local content, local society for this local content to match this. So basically, this fund will be finally managed by the committee in the local content domain. Committee, I understand that we will consist of the local population and the state as well. So I believe this kind of arrangement will definitely fulfill the expectations of the local population.
You know, the main factor in production is land. And recently, the Minister of Land Tenure and Surveys cancelled about 127 land titles in the area in which you will be operating. Are you reassured by such a commitment from the state?
Sure. First of all, at the company, on behalf of the company, we welcome this decision sincerely, because we appreciate the effort has been made by the state to overcome the irregular issues that may prevent the start of the mining industry, industrialize the mining industry in Cameroon. So land issue might be one of them. So this decision really boosted the confidence of the investors. So this move not only benefits the project itself, but also benefits the state and its population. Basically, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the head of the state, the head of the government, the Prime Minister, the Ministry of the Mines, including the Minister of Mines and his associated team, the local government, and the local population.
One but last question. You have been given license to operate in Cameroon since 2009. 803 hectares of land is located about 17 kilometers from the deep port of Kribi, where the iron ore terminal is constructed or will be constructed. The project will be carried out in 3 phases, and I'm sure that over the years you have worked on that. The first phase, which should last 2 to 3 years, is reserved for construction. The second for the exploitation of ore, the crude oil, which will be exported in its entirety to China. The third phase, the raw iron ore, will be processed in Cameroon. The production capacity of the operation is about 10,000 tons per day of around 33% of crude iron concentration, with a potential reservation of about 670 million tons. Are you still on track with such a plan?
Thank you for the question. So please allow me to do some correction on this information and the figures.
Absolutely.
So basically...
you want to unpack them?
Oh, right.
Go ahead.
Okay. So basically, SINOSTEEL had been granted the mining license in July 2022. So basically, it's a project. As I just mentioned, its capacity will have around 10 million tons of raw material annually, which is 33% of iron ore content. That's the raw material. So by beneficiation process, the enrichment for the final production will be around 4 million tons per year concentration, which will be above 65% of iron ore content will be high-grade concentrate. So the mineral terminal will be actually built in the Karibi area as correct, and also will be around a 20-kilometer road to connect from the mine site to the Karibi port. So basically, with regard to when we come to the stages, we have basically two major stages. So first, the major stage, as you mentioned, will be around 2 to 3 years. We assume basically 3 years according to the average of the industry standard, 3 years for construction. At the bar, we mentioned about the mineral terminal, power plant, manufacturing plant, road, etc. It's normally cost around 3 years, we assume. Second stage is in operation stage, which we have 2 steps. First step, we will take a couple of years to reach the preliminary target, which is around 5 million of raw material to enriched to around 2 million of concentrate. The second step in this second stage will be reach around what I mentioned above, the 10 million tons of raw material to enriched to around 4 million tons of high-grade concentrate. So we still stick onto this plan. Thank you.
Finally, Mr. Director General, this is just a personal question.
Sure.
To make sure that all of this happens and time is respected, how much time or how often do you visit Karibi?
So we visit Karibi frequently, myself and my colleagues. So, for example, with the land committee, we are part of the land committee to do all the jobs on site works. My colleague is Mr. Dai, would over there every week. So my colleague Mr. Lee and myself, we go to Karibi on the mining site for the land commission, to meet the local population, the local government, to meet the port of Karibi frequently as well.
Okay. The Director General of SINOSTEEL Cameroon, T. Wang, thank you very much indeed for talking to us.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.